is going on, guys? This is DJ Clan Smasher, and today I bring you a nice little match. It was actually an arranged war between two families through the Elite Nation. Clash with Ash versus the new peeps that are joining us in Elite Nation, Reborn Virus. So the cool thing about this war is that Sayak was telling me that they actually met up in a random match a while back. I'll actually post a link to his video, that way you guys can check it out. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be showing you 3 attacks from each side. I wish I could show you a lot more, but I don't want to make this video super long. But I do want to show you this content because it's some pretty good stuff. I'll show you a 10v11, an 11v11, and then a 10v10. So we'll go ahead and start off with Reborn Virus versus CWA. As you can see, it was 75-79, so the new guys won. So as far as sisterly love, you know, with sister clans and everything. So this is, I'll just show you guys what it looks like. So these are all the clans that are together as far as the Elite family goes. So these two families are battling it out, kind of like a, you know, little brother, little sister, brotherly love. So anyways, we'll show you the RV versus CWA. So number 3, let's see. So wait, I think I might have written this wrong. Okay, so this one right here is actually going to be the 10v11 hits. So what I'm going to be showing you is Sugby, who is GP, a super awesome guy. Town Hall 11, who's in Elite Gaming, is currently in Reborn Virus with his Town Hall 10 and is doing a great job. Actually got a 4-pack, 10v11 hits in this war. I'll only be showing you one. So anyway, starts off with a nice little loon portion, hasted loons, just to get rid of that mortar and then that air defense, which makes it a lot easier for the queen walk to get started and make sure that, you know, that the queen passed the right direction. Because by eliminating that portion right there, it makes it to where the queen only has one spot to go to, which is from 9 to 6. So anyways, the queen is walking real nice and even, just going down the pathway from 9 to 6, and the healers and the CC guys makes a huge difference. I've tried them both different ways, having my own healers and the CC healers. Definitely worth taking those CC healers. So anyways, GP is doing a great job of just moving down this part. Has to use a rage spell because the expo is locked down on the queen and there's a lot of single point defenses, so you want to make sure you keep that queen alive. So good stuff here. Everything's looking pretty smooth at this point. The queen still keeps walking. The queen walk does take a process, but the cool thing about this attack is that even though the queen does take a very long time, it is a very efficient attack. And the reason why it's super efficient is because compared to 11v11, when you're a 10v11, you have all the time in the world pretty much, because you aren't really trying to get the 3-star, you're just trying to secure the 2. So you have more than enough time to get that queen walk started, making sure that everything is situated before starting with your kill squad portion, the part that's going to take down the town hall. So as you can see, sent in a few the king with a few bowlers, actually a lot of bowlers in the back. And then after that, that created a funnel to make sure that the queen goes to the middle, and then sends a real nice rage spell that's going to clear this portion. And as you can tell, the percentage is pretty much there. He is going to have to deal with the golem, but it's not going to be an issue with the queen. It's mainly the lava hound that kind of gives an issue for the queen when it comes to this kind of attack sometimes. It just depends on how you go about it. But anyways, the percentage is there. The queen locks down to the town hall, has a few baby dragons for extra percentage, and then sends in the queen ability to go ahead and secure the 2-star. So great hit, GP. That was freaking awesome. Glad you're doing a great job with those 10v11 hits over there in RV. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to number 9. So this hit, so this is the army that Suggy, so GP used. So we're going to go ahead and move on to number 9, guys. So this is going to be an 11v11 hit. So it's going to be Kamikaze J versus Durjoy. So it's going to be a boulder witch army. No healers in this one. So pretty much starting from 9 with one portion and then 12 on the other portion. So there you have it, guys, creating that nice funnel, that nice little pathway with 3 witches, 4 bowlers is usually the usual army comp when it comes to the flank portion. Then after that, sending in the rest of the bowlers right behind the king and the queen and all that good stuff, and then sends in the 2 jump spells, places a nice little rage to get through right away because he doesn't want that eagle to start doing some work. Luckily is able to take down that eagle before it does any more damage. and then sends in a nice little freeze spell that's going to freeze the Inferno. And then that makes it to where even with the Grand Warden ability, it was pretty much like having 2 free spells at once. That's what pretty much happened. So anyways, places a real nice rage spell right in the middle to get all those boulders through. Takes care of both Infernos. The King's going to have to take care of the other one. But no worries there. At least the King was able to get the Inferno, which made it a lot easier for the rest of the troops to move along the way. So then after that, the bowlers and witches are moving on the flank section. The left portion that was going from 9 to 6 happened to die off. But luckily the Queen's still alive, and the Queen has the ability, which is going to make a huge difference and is going to play a big role for the ending portion of this attack. As you can see, the Queen ability was used, but the good thing is that the witches are still going strong. So because those witches are producing skeletons throughout the whole way, it makes it to where the Queen's able to stay alive a little bit longer and keep pushing through this attack. So even though there isn't that many troops, the witches, you know, producing those skeletons makes it to where it's just a huge advantage, especially if you have those witches alive at the very end. The Queen happened to die, but there's only 1 defense left, and with this many witches and skeletons right in front of the witches just taking hits, it's pretty much unstoppable at this point with a single point defense structure. And the Grand Warden also hitting that archer tower. So way to go, Kamikaze. Good stuff there. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to number 22. This is going to be the 10v10 hit. Pretty awesome stuff, guys. I wish I could show you all of these replays, but I'll only be showing you 3 and 3. So anyways, guys, this is going to be Neymar Jr. hitting Cookie Raider, who is a brand new 10v10. He's actually the leader of Clash with Ash at this time. So good stuff there. Right here starts with a Queen Walk going from pretty much just taking care of the flanks is what it is. And then after that sends in the boulders with the witches on the corner just to take care of the flanks. So this is what it's what the attack is looking at like. Wow, I can't even talk anymore. What the attack is looking like is the TT attack. If you guys aren't sure what that is, definitely check out the channel and look at the previous attacks. It's going to be Pro Tips by TT. This is pretty much the attack, sending in the flank Queen on one side and then sending in a flank boulders and witches on the other side, and then sending the rest of the boulders through the core with the King and a Golem just to tank. So anyways, this is a great base to do it, especially because it's pretty parallel and it's a real nice easy pathway for the boulders to get through the middle. So right here does a great job of taking care of the base. The Queen is still moving at a good portion of the base from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. At first it looked like the Queen was about to go the wrong direction by going in the middle, which you do not want. But luckily the Queen was able to move back, which made a huge difference, because if not, this attack might have not worked out so well. And then as you can see, guys, the flank portion on the right side that was going from 6 to 3 did a great job. Pretty much took care of all the buildings over there and distracted all the defenses in the middle, because those flank portions are also moving and pushing forward. So that's why this attack is very powerful, and I highly recommend using it as a Town Hall 10, especially if you're having a hard time with 10v10s. It's one of those attacks that is pretty good at 10v10, and if you don't get the triple, you might get a high percentage 2-star. And sometimes you need that percentage, guys, especially when it comes to real close wars like Clash Cup tournaments and whatnot. So anyways, good stuff there, Neymar Jr. Way to get that 3-star. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the CWA side versus the RV, so their attacks. So we're going to go ahead and go to number 7 first. So number 7 is going to be an 11v11 by Neo. As you can see, guys, this one doesn't have an Eagle. I believe Jason should have an Eagle Artillery. He just happened to forget to change the base. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a Bolalo pretty much. Bolalo with the clone spell, so this is pretty interesting. I also made a video on how to Bolalo with well, not with the clone spell, but just a regular Bolalo. One of my favorite attacks to do. It's definitely fun to do. You have a lot of leeway when it comes to that attack as far as how to attack. Like for instance, you have a lot of control is what I'm trying to say. It's not like with witches. Sometimes, you know, like if you happen to copy the same attack, it might vary compared to somebody else. So that's what I like about this attack. You have a lot of control over it. So anyways, Dice Little Poison to take care of the CC troops. The Grand Warden was used at the right time just to go ahead and push and get a real nice push to take care of one of the air defenses and the CC and make sure that they don't pop with like a big bomb or something like that. and took advantage, because as you can tell, these Expos are facing down, and that is just asking for an air attack pretty much. And that's what Neo did, delivered with an air attack. So nice haste spell placements to get through the base pretty quickly. After this is going to clone pretty soon. Places another haste spell to get through this first Inferno, and then another one to try to get to the other one. And then a nice little haste spell right there. And as you can tell, guys, that was perfect haste spell, clone spell placement, because placed the clone real close to the Inferno. So pretty much that first loon is going to go in there, and then that first loon in the front is going to make it to where the rest of the clones are going to be taking the hits first. And that's exactly what you want with the clone spell, because those clone loons aren't worth as much as your real loons. And why do I say that? It's because your real loons are going to last you longer. When it comes to the clone loons, let's say that they happen to survive the whole battle, they will run out of time, guys, because those clone loons are timed. So therefore, it's not worth losing your real loons. It's better to just lose the clone loons, because like I said, they might run out of time and you might not have any more troops if you lose your real loons. So great job here, Neil. Way to 3-star that base. That was freaking awesome, and great pathing and real nice clone spell, that is for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to number 10. So number 10 is actually going to be by Riley. Very solid hitter when it comes to 10v11 here at CWA. So sends in the Queen with a few healers, and I believe he's going to have CC healers, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe something else. We'll find out. So sends in the Queen from that section just to kind of create a little funnel. And then after that, it has to place a rage spell. Luckily, the healers were able to lock onto the Queen in time before the Queen goes down. He didn't feel comfortable leaving the Queen in that specific spot because the Queen was still low on health, so had to pop the ability a little bit sooner. Unfortunately, the Queen gets locked with the Inferno, which caused it to the Queen to not be able to re-heal, so lost the Queen at the very beginning. And usually when that happens, that means that it's game over. But Riley, the good thing is that Riley does not give up from the start, did not rage quit, which is what I don't like, when people are just rage quit in the middle of the attack before even letting it go. So the good thing is that Riley didn't do that, and guess what, guys? It worked out perfectly. Why? Because he still was able to get the 2 stars. So very nice rage spell placement. A few of the Valks go to the middle, sends in another rage, and then starts double poisoning the troops, which is 2 or 3 baby dragons, which is pretty unfortunate because those baby dragons can do a lot of work. So sends in the King. Luckily, the King is able to target the town hall. The King is working on the town hall, and as you can see, the King is able to take care of the town hall to get the 2 star. Well, actually, the 1 star, and then after that has a few baby dragons for the back portion, because he noticed that there wasn't any air defenses or anything else that would be able to take care of the baby dragons. So great work here. This was a fresh 10v11 hit, and even swagged the heal spell, guys. That is freaking awesome. I believe he's going to save that for his troops, but because everything didn't go as planned at the beginning, it made it to where he didn't really need that heal spell, because it was just, you know, a time of frantic pushing your troops and trying to get what you can. So good stuff there, Riley. Way to work things out, even though things were looking a little rough. So anyways, guys, now we're going to go ahead and move on to their 22. Interesting thing is that both of those were 10v10 hits. So that's cool how the 22s were both taken care of on both sides by 10s. So anyways, that man, Ebone Heart, is going to take that man down from Reborn Virus. So anyway, sends in a baby dragon to create a nice little funnel in this bottom section, since there's really nothing hitting it. As you can see, the archer towers are so far away. The dragon was able to get some percentage down and create a nice little funnel on that portion. Then after that, sends in a few witches on the top with a few bowlers, and then a few more on the right at 3 o'clock. And then as you can see, the funnel is finally created. Sends in the King, the Queen, and there is a golem in there as well that Ebone Heart brought in, and then sends 2 poisons for the CC, places a real nice jump spell right in the core. That's going to help out a lot, especially with that rage spell, because there's so many things in the core. And then a nice heal spell right before facing the next inferno. It's always important to do that, guys. A lot of people forget to do that or don't bring any heal spells. I would much rather bring a heal spell because you want to try to heal your things before facing the second inferno. That way your boulders and everything that was in the core gets re-healed and is ready to go for the second part. So anyways, the inferno is taken care of by the queen. The queen had to pop the ability, but at this point it's pretty much game over, guys. Look at the flanks on the left side from 12 going to 9. There's just so many bowlers and so many witches, and the golem is still standing very strong. Nothing on the from the 3 to 6 section, but as you can tell, guys, there's so many bowlers on the other section that it doesn't even matter at this point. There's only one mortar and 2 archer towers. That's not really going to do much against these troops. It's mainly if there was a big bomb on the outside, or if there was a wizard tower just pounding through on the remaining troops. But the king is still standing, and the king is pretty much like another golem. So great work, Ebone Heart. Awesome war between both clans. I really enjoyed watching some of these replays, and I was asked to try to make a what's it called, a recap for them, and I don't mind doing that at all. So great job, Clash with Ash and Reborn Virus, and welcome to the Elite Nation family, Reborn Virus. It was real nice to have you guys. So thanks again for tuning in. This is DJ Clan Smasher, and don't forget to keep calm and clash on. Until next time, guys.